Hey there, I'm Chris Jones, and I am here to help you take your website from confusing to clear. And today I'm going to walk you through a recent makeover that I've done for my client here in Portland, Oregon. His name is Scott Sullivan at Portland Oculoplastics. And I'm going to walk you through his website. We are not quite yet live with his website, so I'm able to show you kind of where his website was and where it's going and help you understand why we made the decisions we did about changing his website. So first off, on the left-hand side is his current website that we are in the process of making over. And you'll notice a lot of different things, but most of all, just that it doesn't really talk much about who he is. This large paragraph of information here, no one's going to read it. No one is reading this. And then their main headline is personalized experience, personalized care. And that doesn't really tell me anything about what he does. So I don't know if he is a foot doctor, if he is a massage therapist, if he is a dentist. Actually, he's an eye surgeon, but you just wouldn't know that from the main headline on the website. So it's important to remember you've got 5 seconds to let people know what you do, how you make their life better, and how they can work with you. That is just the first priority of your website. So if you don't do that, odds are they're going to move on to a different website that doesn't take so much energy to figure out what you do. So the first thing we did here was change the headline so it became very clear what he did. So see the world through new eyes with Portland's expert in eyelid surgery. There is no question about what he does, and there's no question about what he wants me to do in order to engage with him. So give us a call is a very clear call to action. And that's not only right here in the main hero area, but it's also up here in the upper right, which is the most valuable real estate on your entire website. So we really want this color to pop. So we've brightened up the blues to give it a little bit more energy and be more eye-catching for the call to action. The other thing that you'll notice on his current website is just the overwhelming amount of pages on it. As you scroll down here, there's so many pages on this website, and it's just quite overwhelming. You don't know where to go, where to begin, and where to get the information that you want to get. So what we did was simplify the entire experience. We really only want the people visiting this website to do one thing, and that's to give them a call to schedule a consult. So we eliminated essentially all of these pages and integrated the most important ones onto the home page. So instead of having an about page, we integrated that into the home page. Instead of having testimonial page, we integrated that into the home page. And that way we're in control over what people read and in what order. So the idea is really just truly telling a story and letting it unfold one page after the next. But in this case, it's as you scroll down the page, that story is going to unfold. Okay, so as I'm scrolling down this page here, I'll just show you a few other things that pop out at me that I want you to be aware of. The logo up here, super dated, probably not bad for back in the day, but it's just quite dated. So we've simplified that as well. You'll notice here just modernizing it, making it more legible, and bringing in a visual graphic that represents like the rise of the sun and also an eyelid. Okay. So I'm going to kind of take you for a tour down this page on his website. And you'll just notice, our mission is to serve you. Again, it's a nice sentiment. It just doesn't tell me anything. How am I going to benefit from this? I don't even quite know what he does. So it's just very, very vague. And then he leads in with, our practice was established in 2006. So again, it's about him. And Scott's amazing. He has a huge heart, and he just wants to help his clients. And he didn't write this website. And the person that did their best job. But what they didn't understand is that your client is the hero of your story. So when you talk too much about yourself, you actually are making yourself the hero of the story. And there's only room for one hero in every story. So you automatically kick your potential client out of the story, which is really unfortunate because we want to include them, we want to connect with them, and we want to speak directly to them. So you'll notice over here on the right-hand side, our new content is very, very direct, speaking directly to the client and not speaking about Scott Sullivan himself. So we enter in here at the very beginning with the problem. So the minute you stop talking about your customer's problem is the minute they stop listening to you. So we start right off the bat with the problem. Do you struggle with heavy eyelid skin that makes it too hard to read, drive, or watch TV? Do you struggle with eyes that make you look older than you actually are? Do you struggle with compromised visibility that gets in the way of physical activities you enjoy? So all of a sudden, if somebody comes to his website and he is naming their problem, they feel like, number one, he understands their struggle, and number two, he is the best person to solve the problem for them. And then we weave in empathy and authority through headlines like, I get it, fighting your own eyelids is frustrating. That's an empathetic statement, and it's a great way, empathy is a great way to connect with your potential clients. And then we dive right in here with really powerful visuals about the value and the benefit that they're going to get when they work with Scott and when they get their eyelids fixed. So they're going to improve their vision, they're going to restore eye comfort, and they're going to enhance appearance. So right away, like just at the top beginning of this website, I already know that you understand my struggle, that I already easily know via the icons how I'm going to benefit from working with you. And you'll notice on the left-hand side here, again, very hero-based, that there's no way for me to know how I'm going to benefit, what problem you're going to solve for me. And then we dive right into more about Dr. Sullivan. So, again, it's all accurate. It's just not connecting with the potential client. And then some accolades of him, his authority here, featured patient stories on the left, way too long, hard to read, over a busy background. This is just hard to read. No one's going to read it. And then a request an appointment here. So not a bad call to action, but I'm not sure why the map is behind there. So I'll keep walking you through this page. So we definitely want to make sure we have visuals. See here on the right, visuals of his clients in a happy state. So what are they going to look like and feel like after they've worked with you? And he works with both men and women, but mostly women in middle age. And then we show here, he's got some incredible testimonials that were just completely hidden before on the website. They were siloed away on their own page rather than integrated on the homepage. So we have really brought attention to those, made the text big, shortened the testimonials so that it really stands out on the homepage and it doesn't get missed. Testimonials are such a workhorse, and don't underestimate their power, especially if they're done well. Okay, now it's time for me to learn about my guide. As the hero, I'm visiting this website, and my guide is Scott. And here he introduces himself as the guide. And he does that by, again, speaking to his potential customer's problem and giving you, casting a vision of what's possible. Also really sharing how he's different from the rest. So we go in here about it's more empathy and authority here, and we weave in a very philosophical statement, which is everyone deserves to see clearly and feel confident about the way their eyes look. And that's just a way to really, like I said, cast a really wonderful vision of what's possible and what you deserve as a human. Okay, and then we add this very personal touch here, which is his signature. I love doing this because it just, the digital world is so impersonal. So anything that we can do to keep things a little bit more personal, I take advantage of. Okay, so now we go into the guide section, or the plan section. And the plan section is really spelling out the 1, 2, 3 step plan that will allow somebody to get to the other side or to find their success. And so in this case, it's schedule a call, undergo in-office surgery, and then love your eyelids. Now, the truth is there's a lot more than 3 steps to get to loving your eyelids, but we really just simplify it and simplify it and simplify it, so it just allows people to realize, like, it's not that hard to achieve my goal. More really dynamic, authentic images of people in the after state of their eyelids after they've had surgery. Okay, and then again, this section is often, it's the services section, and often people put this on another page. I really like to put it on the home page because the reality is people are just scrolling so fast through websites. They often don't have time to jump to other pages to find what they need. So I like to really kind of spoon feed them with the information that they want just as they're about to ask for it. So in this section, we show the 3 different main services that he provides. And you can see here, I mean, he really does all of this stuff. And I imagine that the original web company that built this did all this for SEO purposes, but there are cleaner and better ways to capitalize on SEO without having to muck up your website with a million pages. So we've gone from our services being like a library of pages to this right here. And then reiterating that they are 100% focused on oculoplastic surgery. Okay, and then here for SEO purposes, I did list all the technical names for the surgery, but really we don't want to speak over people's heads, so we just simplified it up here to 3 different kind of buckets of what he does. Okay, and then we move into, his website, his current website. Here, I'll just kind of scroll down to this part. So instead of Meet Dr. Scott Sullivan, I really think it's important to have your headlines do the heavy lifting for you. So if people are just scanning your website really quickly and they're not reading any of the body copy on your website, we want to communicate some really key factors just in the headlines alone. So a much stronger headline that communicates way more about what he does is, I believe it's just plain wrong to live with eyelids that are inhibiting the quality of life, inhibiting your quality of life. And so already I feel like I know him better, I'm more connected with him, rather than this one out here, Meet Dr. Sullivan. The other thing about outdoor photography, like if you if you do your job outside, like if you're a camp counselor or what else? What else do people do outside? You're a personal trainer that, goes jogging with people or something outside. Then get your headshots taken outside. But if you are a surgeon or a consultant or anything where you do your work inside, get your photos taken inside. It allows people to really, it just feels way more authentic to you and your work. And so thankfully, Scott agreed to get a photo shoot with my photographer, and you can just see the quality of image is so much better here on the right. Like I can see the whites of his eyes, which means I can actually connect with him. If you can't see the whites of the eyes, it's very, very hard to trust somebody because you can't even see their eyes. So we did a total revamp of his photography, which goes a long way. We did it inside. He's got a nice suit on with some jeans because he's, approachable but very professional. And this just allows me to feel like I have a connection with him, which is what it's all about. Okay, so the other thing that we wove into, so we have a gallery page over here on his current website or his old website. There's a gallery page, and it shows different before and after pictures. But let's be honest, everybody wants to see the before and after pictures. So why hide them on some other page that people are going to have to hunt around for it? So what I did is I included it on the homepage, and here you can see the dramatic before and afters here. And then we weave in some authority. So it's important, as Scott is now the guide. You can see he's got 20 years in practice, over 10,000 surgeries, and 9 published articles. So this is a nice way to just show kind of your street credibility. And then we have another round of before and afters, which are quite dramatic. And again, I like to include 2 to 4 testimonials on the homepage. And then in the bottom, he is moving to a new location. So we wanted to really highlight the convenience of the new location that he's moving to. This website is still in development, so the Google map hasn't quite loaded yet. But once we go live, this will all be working. So the map is here, and because convenience is really important for people. And then we end the page with really just a reminder and kind of a poignant call to action for people to end on. So ready to look in the mirror and love what you see, give us a call. And then we've got the phone number very easily right here. And there you go. So that is the tour. I hope you liked the transformation. Would love to hear your thoughts. And if you are ready to get your website working for you, go to reddoordesigns.com. That's reddoordesigns.com and schedule a call with me. We'll do a 15-minute walkthrough. It's you and me looking at your website and mapping out a plan for you to help you show up in your best way online. And you will be surprised how much we can accomplish in 15 minutes. All right. I look forward to talking with you.